So, this is a version of the game that I essentially hacked for a comedy show I did in Hamburg recently. Now, I don't know what the fastest route through the game is right now, so I've done Green Hill Zone quite a few times, but I've not tried to speedrun the whole game yet. You'll notice a few glitches that I put in there. So there's a lot of stuff that's just cosmetic because I think it looks fun. So it's randomly, every time you collect a ring, it is randomly changing some of the mappings of where different parts of sprites should be drawn. So that's why you're getting all the weird stuff in the background. You're also... It's quite hard to talk and think at the same time, and I'm amazed I made it past that. You'll also notice the time is a scrambled value. Everybody, I guess, who's seen Sonic speedrunning before knows that the time that you finish the level in dictates how long it takes to get through the... It's really hard to talk and think at the same time. Very hard to jump on this spring. This is something I noticed during my stage show. When people got a lot of rings, they find it very hard to jump through it. I'm also trying to jump on ramps, because that launches me up into the air, so you can see that happen there. So we're here to Dr. Robotnik already. Basically, yeah, what I was saying about the timer, I think it thinks I've got maybe 15 minutes on the clock. So, because the minute counter is always set to about 15, it doesn't time me out, because the timeout checker comes when it's like you've hit the 10-minute mark, and here it's always above 15 minutes. But it also means you see the time bonus marker there, that's always going to be at 0, so you don't have to wait ages for it to come up. The way this is all done is using a... Okay, this is where it gets hard, because now, like, I've done Green Hill Zone like loads of times setting up for this. I don't even know, there might be parts of the game where it's actually impossible. So we'll have to take that off my time if I ever have to reset. Get some rings. Rings are great for, I guess, two things. They stop you dying and they also protect you. Now my hope is I can use the ramps to launch things. So the way this is all done is with a thing that affects memory. It's a thing which affects memory. So I'm running a hacked version of the emulator. So the emulator is OpenEmu, GenesisPlus running inside it. It's for Mega Drive emulator for Mac. And what I've done, it's all open source, and I've hacked in a way for me to essentially script logic into the game that will kick off every time you do something. So it looks for changes in memory. Ah, that was close. It looks for changes in memory, and when it detects that memory has changed, it will change other bits of memory. So you can do it to do things like... so I've got it set up for every time you collect a ring, something cool will happen. It also works for, say, every time... You know, you can get it to look at the time, you can get it to send values over a network. I've done stuff like get two players to play Sonic 2 against each other, and every time they collect a ring, it will send data across the network to say to their opponent, delete part of my opponent's level. Okay, I'm going to try and get some more rings, because I reckon I can jump through that wall and skip a whole chunk of the level. Excellent, that's what I wanted. Okay, we've hit the checkpoint. I also like the fact that you can, like, the idea it has for where, like, because you're not supposed to, once you've run past the checkpoint, you're not supposed to be run backwards through the level, but because of the speed, it seems to let you go through a certain amount. Every time you collect a ring, it increases your speed, but every time you lose a ring, nothing happens, so you can pick up rings you just dropped. When I was running this during the show, I had players seem to gravitate towards not picking up rings. which is interesting because I don't know, I naturally want to pick up every ring. Partly because I want to see the cool effects. It's really weird when it scrambled, like the screen scrambles up when you do stuff, and I don't know. I just nuked myself. Okay, good. That was hairy. Every time you checkpoint, your speed goes back to 0, so that's the kind of safe thing that you can do. But I don't know, I want to get fast. Let's see. Oh, God, there we go. I think it's kind of interesting. I'm kind of quite keen to see what different stuff the zones offer up each time you play. And that was me thinking it was all going great. So yeah, rings offer protection, they also offer speed, but I guess too much speed, like normally you wouldn't die from running under that, but he must have run so fast that he clipped under whatever part of the block would stop you from running through it, and ended up running through it. So Sonic's acceleration changes as well as his speed. But that's not just acceleration to his running speed when you press a button to move, it's his acceleration when you press, like when you're going up hills and stuff. So, I think, anyway. It seems to be on some hills that you can use some slopes to project yourself upwards, and some you can't. I don't know why that is. I wonder if I can avoid that bit. Oh well, I feel like I'm stuck here now. Oh, or not. Okay, that was interesting. Okay, definitely get the invincibility. Alright, and watch out for these things because they're death traps, because I can run under them. It's interesting, it makes you play a bit more recklessly, but also you have to play a bit more cautiously. Is that a wall I'm meant to be able to run through? I'm not sure I want to take the risk. I'm going to wait for these to drop down. And I know this is the end of the level. But you see what's... Oh no, okay, I need to get up. Okay, this is my first reset of the game. Okay, I'm going to have to type in a cheat code to get back here. Let's say my forfeit is that... My forfeit is that... So, up, down, left, right. My forfeit is the time you're watching me do this. So yeah, so what happened there was Sonic automatically started running, but he couldn't get to the end of the level, so the level would never actually end. It's really hard to talk and do this at the same time. I don't know how speedrunners manage it. Up, down, left, right, Z and enter. Nope. Oh yeah, because I've changed up, down, left and right on this machine. So yeah, the way I've got it set up is I've actually got number keys mapped to up, down, left and right on the keyboard. Up, down, left, right, and start. And we're on Marble Zone Act 2. Okay, I feel like I've done my forfeit, so I'm going to go on to Act 3 and make sure never to do this again. This is a practice run, I guess. This is not the official world record attempt at fastest time doing this thing. So, I don't know. Don't at me? Right, okay. Oh god, I can't see what's even supposed to be there. Right, so... I mean, it must be the case that the fastest way through the game involves collecting a lot of rings, and I can jump over that. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Yes! Oh, yes! Now that, if that's not the best strategy through this level, I don't know what is. Get the ring. I like that you can just cannon yourself around to hit Robotnik. Okay, so this is something that we found was very hard in rehearsals. So usually what I do, I find a good strategy is to try and jump on the button as soon as the screen moves. But in this version, like once you're really fast, jumping on the precise spot becomes really hard. So a lot of players had real trouble. They beat the boss in the challenge in the stage show I was doing, but they couldn't jump on the button, and that's when I stopped the time, and it was this wonderful extra punchline at the end of the game. Like, you think you've beaten it. Oh, I wonder how high I can go up these ramps. It's weird, he kind of sticks to the ground if you use the springs. Okay, this is good. This is good. Weird what's happening to the music there. I don't know if that's the emulator sort of having trouble processing it all. Don't know how long that was. My recording device is telling me 12 minutes. I feel like I'm making good time. I reckon I'm going to get this in half an hour, but that's famous last words. Let's see how high I can run up this thing. Wow, that's cool. Didn't know all that was up there. So he just runs up the... Jesus Christ, what is going on? You see that? He just runs towards the spring. That's amazing. He just kind of turns around the corner. Oh, that's nice. So I got stuck in the wall there, but the game kind of pushed me out of the wall. I thought I might be stuck there forever. Okay, famous last words. I think this is a reset. So one thing I did I've done in other versions of the game is put in a timeout feature. So up, down, left, right, Z and enter. We were on Springyard Act 2, weren't we? So yeah, during the show, one thing that I did is put in a kind of... If you press the backspace key on the keyboard, it would automatically launch you... It would automatically launch you up to the top of the screen, because I realised people could get stuck in walls, or... You know, there's a waterfall in Emerald Hill Zone in Sonic 2 that is just a death trap, because you can't jump out of it, because you're never meant to get down there. So when that happened, I pressed the backspace key and I changed Sonic's Y coordinate to the top of the screen. Yeah, I don't know if I've talked much about how it actually works, but basically what I've done, all the memory inside the emulator, like representing the memory inside the memory inside the Mega Drive, that is all represented. It's just an array, a massive array of bytes. And where bytes of memory are located in that array maps exactly to where they would be in the memory of an actual Mega Drive. And there's sites like Sonic 2 Hacking Guide and stuff like that that tell you the memory addresses for different features. So where are the memory addresses that are all to do with Sonic's screen location, or where the camera is, number of rings, layout of levels, layout of sprites. So you can use that essentially every time the emulator loops, which happens once every 60 times a second. Before it does the logic that makes it, you know, pretend it's doing a cycle of game logic, it will check to see for changes in memory, and it will check for other inputs, so controller inputs or signals from the network, and then it will make changes to the memory accordingly. And I put it in so I could write scripts that added values to values that were already in memory, so, you know, or increase them or decrease them. So what I've got is it just adds 1 to the bytes that manage Sonic speed. So I didn't actually know which one. So that's a number from 1 to 256. So there's actually 2 bytes to that govern Sonic's speed. It's basically 2 numbers, like 2 bytes, which represent the speed. If you don't know NAS that well, I guess it adds 2 numbers together. So the first number, it multiplies by 256, and then it adds the other number. And I didn't know which way round those 2 numbers were, so I just add 1 to both of them. And that seems to be around about the right value, like adding 17 to Sonic's speed every time he picks up a ring. That seemed to create a kind of quite a fun increase in speed. And having spent all that, I so easily got to Robotnik. I end up dying really, really fast. Anyway, so I'm adding 17 to the value of Sonic's speed every time. No, I'm not. I'm adding 256 to Sonic's speed every time. Now, I don't know, I think it might be done in subpixels or something. I don't know exactly how Sonic speed as recorded in memory relates to how far he moves across the screen every time you press a button. But to be honest, as long as the effects are fun, that's all I really care about. Right. Oh, for God's sake! I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Right, I'm going to go back and get some rings, because it's not going to be fun to beat Robotnik without a stupid speed. There we go. That was a nice jump. Come on, Robotnik. Come down where I can hit you. Come on. Oh, wow. Okay, this is interesting. There's a lot of ways I could die now. Because I don't want to run all the way to the left and fall down that pit, and that's really hard to do. I mean, really easy to do. I guess I'm going to try to coax him over here, and then... might be making life hard for myself. You see the life counter goes down every time I die, but it's just like the time counter. I've set that to be a stupidly high value, and it's like every 10 frames it'll rewrite a number into that value. I honestly don't know what that value is. It's the old thing of, you know... Well, it's weird, like, it's a byte, so I thought I was writing the number 80 into it, and it's clearly not the number 80, is what I've written. So I have what I thought was 80 lives, but it's clearly over 100 lives. I wonder if I move around all the time, Robotnik will never notice me. Okay, no rings. That's not a good look on me. Oh, for God's sake. I wonder why this boss is particularly hard. I guess the lack of floor is probably adding something. Come on. I think I really need to manage where Robotnik's going to land. Just come over here, because I know this is safe. This tile is safe, and I can get you twice on the way down! Yeah, maybe half an hour was actually quite generous of me. Come on! Right. Come on, Robotnik. Come get me. Come get me while I'm invincible. Oh, for God's sake! I bet there were like people watching at home going, oh, I wonder why he's not taking the invincibility. I mean, there's an argument that I says I could just play this normally without Wait, what the hell is going on? Okay. I'm not sure why I seem to be jumping higher there. That was odd. Ah, well, half the game down. Feel like I'm making good time. Oh, this is good. See, I've never liked how slow the water makes you. I don't think anyone likes... And see, I did an article on Sonic a while back, just for my blog. But I talked to... Wow. Ooh, that's interesting. The water seems to slow you right down. See, I'm back to normal speed again. It must change Sonic's speed every time he enters the water. And when he leaves it. So as long as you stay in... either stay underwater or stay above water, Sonic will always maintain his speed. It's interesting. But yeah, I reckon, like... Labyrinth Zone is, as far as I'm concerned, it is the most interesting level in the game, because it has the most interesting mechanics, and they kind of all relate back to this idea that's kind of present through the level design, which is, you know, look before you leap. Sonic 1 isn't really about going fast. Sonic 1 is about using momentum. I think that's something a lot of people kind of misunderstand about the game. It's not like speed is cool, it's it's the selling point, but in terms of the way the levels are designed, the levels aren't about speed as such. The levels are about momentum, which is slightly different. Now, Labyrinth Zone has... So, the consequence of momentum is that a lot of the gameplay is based around this idea of look before you leap, and this level has the most interesting kind of look before you leap kind of moments in it. It also has the most interesting use of colour, because look how well you can see... I mean, you can't in this version, but the spears that come out of the wall, as hazards, they're really interesting because, like, they are bright white, so you know exactly where they are. But on that same logic, you see the little fireballs that get spit out of walls sometimes, and they're almost invisible. And I don't like that. So I almost got stuck in a wall earlier, and I wonder if I could have actually used that to zip to the end of the level, and instead I zipped myself straight back out of that wall. Oh, this is satisfying. Moving at normal speed underwater is... Oh, this is the best mechanic ever. Maybe that's the version of the game I should release. Sonic 1, but Labyrinth Zone isn't irritating. And that's the thing, it's like... For all the really cool, interesting design in this zone, the way it slows you down, the way it takes speed away from you, it makes it frustrating, which is a shame. See, now I've got to remember how to actually play this game, and I know there's a button somewhere. I think that's where... Oh, is it that? Under the shield? No. There's a button under one of these TVs, I swear. There we go. So that opens the door. Excellent. Get some rings. Make the water less frustrating. I like how these little shimmering effects have appeared in the walls. I don't know what they are. And I guess my speed is probably back to normal now. Oh, this is cool. But we're right at the end of the level, I think. There we go. Fuck it, I'm going in there. I was like, I probably shouldn't go inside the big ring because that's ridiculous, but I want to know what happens inside the special stage now. Very little. Huh. I wonder what I have done to the game. I guess this is time for a reset. Hoist by my own petard. Up, down, left, right, Z and enter. Labyrinth zone. Oh, that was stage 3, there we go. Yeah, so the reason it's all funny, I mean, you look at this controller, I'll just show you it briefly. I've taken I've taken buttons out because this is the one I use for my comedy show. So a recent comedy show I did, I took a bunch of classic Sonic games with glitches hacked into them and turned it into a game show. Sort of, I dressed up as Dr. Robotnik and I hosted it as if I was Dr. Robotnik hosting a TV game show. And there we go. So I hosted the whole thing dressed up as Dr. Robotnik. There we go. I hosted the whole thing dressed as Dr. Robotnik and got people to compete with each other in these games which were used glitches and custom controllers and all weird things that I built, and they had to do challenges against each other. Now, because I didn't know if everybody in the audience had played Sonic games before, I didn't want people to be confused. Now, that's an interesting jump. It only seems to work if you're not pressing a direction. Anyway, to jump off the waterfall, I mean. So, I wanted... so yeah, because I didn't know if everybody in the audience had played a Sonic game before, and I didn't want to confuse them with lots of different buttons, I took out all the buttons that are unnecessary. So what you're left with is just up, down, left, right, and one button, the B button in this case, which I used to get people to jump. And that seemed to work out pretty well. I mean, I've done a show before. I also do a thing, it's Sonic the Hedgehog controlled using a microphone. So one player has a controller with no buttons on it, just a direction pad. And they have to play the game, but the Sonic will only jump when the audience shouts jump, and the microphone picks that up and feeds that information through to the emulator by just sending a message over the network. And for that, I took all the buttons off the controller except for the D-pad. So it's kind of obvious, like the conceit, like why are you doing this? Why do the audience have to jump? It's because there's no buttons on the controller. And that seemed to work pretty well. But yeah, I've also got weird things like the direction keys are set up on the keyboard. The direction keys on the keyboard are 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's because I also sometimes use the custom button kit I made for a game called Codex Bash, and the way that game works under the hood is that it's actually pretending to be a keyboard, and it uses the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 as sort of stand-ins for the buttons, so the game actually just looks for keyboard inputs. So I use that to control the game with, and So yeah, so I've still got it set up for all of that, and which is why I keep on turning to the keyboard to put in the level select. I'm turning to the keyboard and trying to remember which key is which. Okay, I don't want to die here. I also don't know how long it takes Sonic to run out of air, so a brief bit of breathing space before going back to being slow again. It's weird how quickly you get used to Sonic being fast, and like normal speed Sonic feels really slow. Right, I'm gonna go down here, lose all my speed. I need to step on that. I'm gonna take some air. Right, I don't need more air. More invincibility, this is always good. Get some air. Ah, thank you. I think it's going to be weird going back to playing this game normally after after all of this. It's so hard to land on the spring! Okay. I don't like having to wait, I don't. Okay, checkpoint, very important. I think this is the bit where the boss is coming up. Okay. Never actually beaten Robotnik in this, like, by hitting him. I don't know if you can or if you have to chase him to the top. Okay, that makes it harder. Ah! Oh god, he's like molasses! Right. Give me some rings. That's all I want. I need rings to live. Only rings will sustain me. Ah! So I did a tiny wee jump, and then he, so then the water came up and changed his jump height, and so he hit into the thing. Now this is just me struggling with this boss because it's the hard boss. 10-year-old me would be telling me right now it's not a hard boss. But then 10-year-old me would have been playing this at 50 frames per second, and I bet it's easier in 50 frames per second. So, shut up 10-year-old me. I mean, I'll probably be even much worse at this when I'm 50. Right. Wish me luck! Ah! Hoist by my own petard again. I jumped too early again. I mean, now you're just watching me be bad at Sonic. At least I got infinite lives. I don't know which tension is worse. The tension of, like, losing all your lives and having to start again from the beginning, or the tension of just being a really boring performer because you do the same level over and over again. Answers below in the comments, I guess. Getting very quiet because I'm concentrating very hard. There we go. Just wait, Alistair. Wait. And go. Nearly at the top. Don't mess this up, Alistair. Oh, my God's sake! I can do this. Believe in myself. When I'm all alone in my chair, I just go about wishing I wanna be strong. I just wanna be like him. That song is Believe in Yourself. That was the theme tune for Tails in Sonic Adventure. I don't remember any of the other words. When I'm alone in my chair, I just go about wishing I wanna be cool. I just wanna be... Also, that was a weird thing that Tails in that song is all alone in his chair. Do people expect to be not alone while sat in a chair? I mean, most chairs are kind of a solo seating device. I'm near the top, near the top! Yes! I did it! Ah, oh, Tails, you beauty, you saved me. Thank you, Tails. I could hug you. Right, 4 zones down. Oh my god, my device is saying about 38 minutes. Yeah, it's been about 40 minutes since I looked at the clock. Okay, so I'm gonna have to make up for lost time. Just get some rings. Oh yes, I can get through the fans. I hate the fans because you just have to wait for them, and that's like... Okay. So if you hit off a spring, it sends you off at spring speed, but if you just run, you run at, like, modified speed. Oh god, this is like a maze now. Especially when you can't see, like, is this actually, like, meant to be there, or is that something I've, like, just visuals that I've loaded in using the glitches? Ah! It's so hard to land on the spring! Okay. I think I get this. So I need to hit that to get it down, and then I need to... There we go. Ah! I don't know what happened there. Oh, thank God for that. No! Oh, I think I'm at the same trap again. Oh, come on, Sonic! Okay, I'm up. And I take it slow, for a certain definition of slow. Come on, no, don't fall in the hole! Oh god, it looks like he's been... Just for a second there, Robotnik looked like Hannibal Lecter, with the face mask and all of that. Alright, Act 2. Get some rings! Because this makes it so much easier. I reckon I would have done that level so much faster without the rings. But you know, I made my bed, I'm sleeping in it. Yeah! Sonic has passed Act 2. Boom! Okay, I'm making up for lost time now. I have picked up a lot of rings. Let's... Ah! Super jump! What are you doing, Sonic? Ah! Hoist by my own petard once again. Right. Well, that was Act 3, wasn't it? Up, down, left, right. So we're going to Starlight Zone, Act 3. This is a maze! Okay, I think I just screen wrapped to the end. I think that might end up being a banned strategy for the speedrun. So, I think what happened there is I ran so fast that... Oh god! Sonic is so hard to control right now! Boom! Yeah! Oh god, he's almost in... Okay, this boss gets harder. Oh wow, I'm back at the beginning. Should I try and screen wrap again? This might be really easy. I mean, there's a very simple formula to this. There we go. Okay. If I die again, I'm not doing that again, because I don't feel like that's in the spirit of the game. Oh well, too late. Oh god, every time I get a ring, he gets faster! So he gets even harder every time I get hit. Ah! I think I figured this one out. Okay. Oh, I thought that would take me a while because Sonic had got so fast at that point. Okay, no more screen wrapping, that's cheating. But yeah, basically I was going so fast that Sonic went past the left side of the screen and his X coordinate became a negative value. And the way that numbers are done in this game is there's no, this is a simplification, but there's no such thing as negative numbers. So it just became a really large positive number, and so the game interpreted my X coordinate as being right by the end of the level. Okay, so this is the one I was anticipating being most interesting because it's the least smooth. Like, there's a lot of hard edges in this level. I was worried those weren't going to spawn, because I have just kind of run through the door that's meant to protect you. So I jumped into a wall, but I couldn't pop out to the right-hand side for some reason. I'm honestly not sure why. But what I'm doing there was to make sure that didn't happen again. Oh god! Oh, precision jumping! Geronimo! Yeah, this is good. This is fine. This is fine. That... okay, that not so much. Come on, Sonic, I believe in you. He does feel really slow now when he doesn't have his rings. It's that's... yeah. Have I just broken Sonic for myself? I'll never be able to enjoy it properly again, because he'll always feel too slow. God, I could use this same technology to make Sonic Labyrinth even better. As if that's not already a perfect game. What was the other game? There was another game where Sonic moved really slow. I also wonder if I get... so, what happens if I get, say, 206... like... so, 128 rings. Will Sonic's speed become negative? Like, will I start running backwards instead of forwards? I feel like stuff like that happened when I was playing around with the numbers, when I was sort of setting this stuff up. Okay. Interesting. I have no idea what killed me there. Come on, Sonic. Oh yeah, I am being very insistent on getting lots of rings rather than trying to play it safe. I guess in the spirit of the game, really, to do that. And also, let's pretend I'm researching, you know, trying to figure out strategies for the optimal speedrun of this. Yeah, I'd want to collect rings. Of course, I know the optimal speedrun would probably be to screen wrap to the end every time. This is not designed for prisons and jumps. Oh, God's sake, come on! I can't stand precision jumping, cause glitches are stopping from me doing the precision jumping. Leave in the comments if you want to hear more singing, if you want me to release an album or something. Ah! Being super cautious now, because I can't remember where the death trap is. remember this trap from when I was a kid. I can't remember if the button opens it, closes it, or toggles it, or... Okay, I'm going up. Because down seems to lead to death. Oh, that's the end! And I'm still on screen! Having fun! Ah! No! I was having too much fun. I was like, no, I don't want you to have fun. This isn't about fun, this is a test of if you have learnt my mechanics. Test if you have learnt not to mess with me. That's what the game's doing, it's saying, this is what you get for trying to break me. I'm gonna punish you. Ah! Yes, I do have to scream every time I do that jump. And upwards. Okay, and now I stay to the right. No, it's not. Okay. That was that one, wasn't it? 2 more to go. I wonder what's going to happen to him on these things. Is he going to spin? Oh, that's interesting. So it seems to be if you try to run on the disc. Oh, okay. It just threw me off last time. That's cool. I am satisfied with that. Oh, I think I might have... Okay, we got another reset. This is not world record time. Even though I don't think this has been done before. Up, down, left, right. Z key and enter. Scrap Brain Zone Act 2. Wish me luck. Okay, higher route. This presumably is a good idea. Oh my god! I just know I'm gonna throw myself into a wall and get stuck again. Oh god, I'm so tense! How many rings have I picked up? Get more rings! Okay! I'm stuck again! Right. Reset time. Come on, Arthur, you can do it. Okay, so it's been about 55 minutes according to my recording device. Left, down, left, right. Okay. God damn it! I could have... Oh, okay, I didn't need to reset there. And also I could have died in that spot, so... Yeah. This is very hard when you can't see the level. Okay, the upward route is usually the best, and this time it has invincibility. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think I just got stuck in a wall, and then I would press left so it tried to push me out the right-hand side. Okay. So, is it going to play out the cutscene? I'm not sure it is. Oh! Oh, I'm still alive? What? So I was waiting for the cutscene to play out. I guess the game's waiting for me to fall through the floor into Labyrinth Zone. And also, so I run into this bit of wall, which I can't seem to do anymore. Oh! Oh, there's Dr. Robotnik down there! Hello, Robotnik! You feeling alright? Okay, so it's waiting for me to fall down the hole, so I'm just going to reset. I'm going to go straight to Act 3. I'm not going to punish myself by making myself do that all again. Whew! Nearly at the end. Up, down, left, right. Z and enter. Ooh. I wonder what that is. I must have... Maybe it's got some memory mixed up. Or maybe it gives you a ring when it makes a ring sound and that actually glitched some of the stuff. Now, I can't remember the route through this level very well. I can't remember if it's better to go for the top route or the bottom route. And it's Labyrinth Zone, so the rings thing is going to get negated every so often, every time I go into water. Oh, this game makes me work for my pay, doesn't it? Right. I'm going down because I want to spend as much time underwater as possible. Because I want to keep the effects of the speed up. Sound a bit like Dr. Frink there. I want to keep the effects of the even. So I'm going to go down. As long as I have rings, that's all that matters. Rings and air. Rings and air, baby. You can tell I've gone a bit silent. I think it's because of the tension. This does get harder as the levels go on. Now this is a bit better. You look how the red against the dark background of those things stands out a lot better, but they're still tiny, and it's also for some reason really hard to get onto that ledge there. Okay. I have no idea what just happened. What's going on? Fucking god. Oh my freaking god. Air and rings. Slow and steady. I can't remember if there's checkpoints in this level either. So I'm pressing myself up against here because it's slightly easier to get a bubble when I know I only have to jump. Right. Okay. And here we are again. So if you hold the right button, it will push you into the wall, so you have to kind of like tap it. Because for whatever reason, like when you land, it pushes you out unless you do that. It's just really weird. Okay. Checkpoint! Oh, thank God. I was about to lose my mind. No! Shouldn't have jumped. That was my own fault. That was my doing. I apologise. No, I'm pretty sure I meant to go left here. But maybe not. Let's see what was back here. Because I might have been going backwards. No, okay, so I'm definitely meant to go left. Now I know why it's called Labyrinth. Ah, I didn't see the spikes. Oh, that's put me back like 2 steps. I'll be fine. Oh, did you see that? Something weird flashed up on the screen there. Okay, please don't kill me! Yep, here again. Alright, I'm definitely getting this, and I don't want to lose rings. Okay, I'm out of the water, I need to... Okay, that's fine, that's fine. This is it, this is it! Okay, the final zone. And now this is... Because there's no rings in this level, so this is just a test of... How good am I at this final boss. Sonic Mania has given me a lot of practice, but the Sonic Mania one is slightly different. And also you get rings for that one. I missed him. I missed him again. Getting there, getting there. Stay roughly in the middle! Okay. Give yourself somewhere to run. I guess I do have all the time in the world. So close. When do I say time on this? And that was lucky! No. It's like I say, stay in the middle. That's how you do it fastest. Give yourself the option. He must be nearly done now. Please not Nick. Yes! A time! I have no idea what time that was. Okay, 1 minute 8 seconds according to my recording device. Oh my god, I did it! That was way harder than it should have been. Oh, how do I feel? Mentally exhausted. I mean, I guess the infinite life things means it's not like for the amount of times I died. Yeah, get the ring, Sonic. Go on. For the number of times I died, I think if I'd been playing without infinite lives, I would have not finished it. I'm pretty happy with okay, oh, this was an experiment, this was an achievement. Well, I might come back and do it again. Come on, let's watch him get some rings. Yeah, go Sonic, go! Run! Run! Or not! Wonder where he thinks he is at that point in the level. Come on, get some rings. Get some rings. See how it feels. Ew. And get the rings, get the rings, woo! Oh, that would have been a fun route. So I don't belong in here. Get the ring, Sonic, go on. Yeah, those were more fun when I did that. Oh, that's what you're supposed to do! Okay. I thought I was taking the piss there. Yes! Yes! Go, Sonic, go! Or not! Come on, Sonic! Oh, well, that was an experience. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy life and live it to the fullest. Don't make the same mistakes I did!